within the last days of video creation, I struggled a little with catching up with my goals. And I thought I'd use this moment right now to explain a little what kind of challenge I induced myself into. Because some of you were wondering what is the reason I'm uploading so many videos in such a short time. And I wanted to be open on this and share the idea, let's say, in the last week before completion. I decided for the cohort 3 of the Part-Time YouTuber Academy to record 7 videos every day, which should be more than 8 minutes long. And that was basically the first and only idea on this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Oliver. I run 4 KFC restaurants in Switzerland, and I'm a volunteering fireman. So the challenge by itself came out of the second cohort, where I recorded, let's say, I think 20 videos or something a week. And now I upped the game and extended it to make longer content and not just like shorts or shorter videos. And there were 8 people being involved as my accountability buddies. And there's a massive and most important disclaimer inside. And this disclaimer was needed to be explained also to people who recognized that is a part of a challenge here. And the disclaimer was basically in the terms of whenever I decide not to record it, I'm not bashing myself for it, but just being open to the accountability partners and told them if it was the case and why it was the case. Therefore, that was also the reason why I didn't make it so big, because if I would have to explain it to more people, it might be even more difficult to get everyone's understanding that it's like the process is more important than the result. Because I basically used it as a method of failing forward and realizing where are my shortcomings, what are the thoughts and ideas I want to work on in the future, and what is already working well or be even surprisingly well compared to the initial idea. A second disclaimer was also inside. The initial plan was to do all those recordings while I'm having 6 weeks of holidays, and I decided not to do so. I focused on work in the companies I'm working in, and therefore this whole creational process was being done on top of my normal working hours. So what are the key takeaways for you here as a person who's watching this video? You can get a lot more done than you might think whenever you put load on your plate. Whether it's going to be stuff you want to learn, stuff you want to create, or you have to push through. And the most important component for me was having accountability partners. And I had made another video on this in the past, because they were probably going to shout out and ask me what was the reason if I wouldn't explain it for myself. And I would have to be more intentional in not creating content, in not creating videos, due to the fact that I would love to explain myself as well, because it's a matter of fairness if you involve people in a project like this. The second part had been that the failure within was part of the process, so I could embrace it and be happy about some of the mistakes, while others, yes, sure, they were nagging at me, but I'm not bashing myself down for it. I'll give you a couple of examples. A few weeks ago I stopped creating videos for like almost a week because I had a massive issue with my iPhone, because it wouldn't offload the videos, so even if I delete them it would still block the storage. And I by myself was hesitating to reinstall the phone because my backups were not there. And you see, there's already so many small steps like daily backups of your phone, which usually happen automatic if you connect to Wi-Fi, if you plug in your phone. I mean, there's a lot of automation which now is in place, so I'm happy about it. Because it would have been even worse if my phone just died on me and at a certain time or certain day I would have had the problem that I need to buy a new phone and all my data would be lost. The second part was last weekend, where I decided not to record. I had like I think a 19-hour workday, and sleep was for me the more important factor on that day than to record more videos. I think this is understandable on one hand, but it took me a little thought process to really say, no, I will make the decision now not to record the videos. And I would just encourage you to do the same if you put yourself under your own lens of you want to do something and you want to stick with it, that it's a real longer thought process of just saying no and being more like, okay, I do not want to do that. What are the reasons I don't want to do that? Is it really the case? Because on the other hand, there's a lot of opportunities many times in our life where we think something is not possible because of X, Y, Z. And there's another example here, and I didn't upload the video yet. I made a reaction video on one of the videos from Michael Salazar. And there were two constraints inside for uploading that video, but also a constraint for recording it. So when I was in the hotel on Friday, I realized I do not have the right microphone cable with me. Okay, so I could record it using the AirPods. I could record it using the normal microphones which are built in the iPad. I could record a video using the microphones built into the MacBook. But at the first glance it was like, oh, I do not have the cables I intended to use, so I'm not recording it. So I think and consider this being as like a self-induced reason not to do so, while if you think about it, if I wouldn't have had the videos planned, okay, I would think like, okay, I will not record it. But if I wouldn't have had the right microphones, and I never had the microphones in the first place, would I not record videos? No, I would. I would just use the built-in mics, like many people do. And those recordings are maybe a worse quality in sound, maybe even a better sometimes, because, yeah, like I said it before, technical abilities don't necessarily lead to better results. And there was a reason then to record it on the iPad, and then finally the decision to sleep was higher valued than the decision to record any further videos. So if you're still here and being part of the journey of the 7x7, I will continue for the next days, which lead up to next week Sunday, when the cohort 3 will end. And I have a few video ideas which I want to realize during this week. I'm planning for the future to have an editor who's helping me on realizing my video ideas, who will be part of the creative process, but on the other hand executing the ideas and thoughts which I have, because sometimes right now I have nice ideas but I actually do not know how to realize it. And also learning new things is part of the journey, but there's a lot of things to learn, and sometimes you have to make a call and decide what you want to go for. And yes, even I do still have a normal work life where I decide to say, okay, I will go with this first. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and please subscribe to the channel to see more of my content. Have a great one. Bye bye.